Thank you very much, Dennis. First of all, Valerie, thank you for your chairmanship and leadership on issues with respect to women and girls, and particularly this issue. I appreciate your convening us here at the White House. And Dennis, thank you very much for getting over here and taking time to be part of this effort. As we all know, we're kind of running under a very tight clock here. And this is a terrific opportunity to have a kind of summary view of everything and a sharing of what everybody is doing. And in the conglomerate, there's really a very powerful message here. I'm thrilled to chair this for the first time. As everybody knows, we have a terrific support team at State who've been working on this, led by our good ambassador, Luis de Sabaca, and thank you for your efforts, Luis. This is an issue that I first kind of came across when I was chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, and I was just stunned by the stories, the examples of the evil that Valerie just referred to and the President talked about. It is nothing less than the most predatory, extraordinarily abusive, modern slavery that you could conceivably imagine. And the stories, the instances of young girls, some on occasion less than in their teens, but most often in teens and upwards, women, the degradation, the depravity, not just in terms of sex traffic and sex trade, but also labor, in the labor market. And there's so many good efforts that are going on here. So what we hope to achieve, what we will achieve through this sharing, is the telling of a story that the world really needs to understand. And I think America should be very, very proud of the efforts that the President has put together and led, and which are manifested at this table, where you have cabinet secretaries of major agencies of our government and other agencies that have all come together in, frankly, one of the better examples of coordination and accomplishment. So I think there's much to be proud of here. Everybody here understands the impact of human trafficking. I mean, it tears apart communities, tears apart families, challenges rule of law, not to mention that it is a moral obscenity. And we have seen a recent example in a city in America where people for 10 years, 3 women were held in captivity. It can happen in people's neighborhoods, and does. And it happens in all kinds of different ways. I learned a lot about this when I was a prosecutor, and I began one of the first victim witness assistance programs in America because so many people were being victimized twice, once by the crime and then again by the system. And what we're doing here, I think, is proving that we can push the proverbial rock up the hill and actually get it over the top and make good things happen. The Obama administration has, I can say this because I'm new to it, put together an unprecedented, absolutely unprecedented effort that is represented at this table. And so the stories today of what each agency is doing, and we invite, obviously, our live stream audience to sort of really focus in on it, is a tremendous story of governance actually working and of people achieving their goals. And while there would just be an encapsulated snapshot of what that is, I think it's one that tells a terrific story. This is the concern of law enforcement, but it's also the concern of diplomacy, of healthcare providers, of immigration officials, of all government, and that's why this is such a representative table. The only way to ensure an adequate outcome in this kind of a challenge is to have the kind of cross-government, holistic approach that is represented here. So I want to start my chairmanship by pledging my complete commitment to our whole-of-government approach and ask that every single one of you just continue to champion this in the way that you have been. All of us understand also that government alone can't do this. We just can't do this alone, which is why one of the awards we're giving today is to the private sector, because we recognize the criticality of the private sector being involved, all employers, all components of the private sector particularly. So all the stakeholders have to come to this initiative, and we're going to do everything in our power to reach out to them, and we will support new approaches, new practices to spur action and accelerate our progress on this issue, which, though considerable, every single one of us knows 27 million women, girls, people, not always women and girls, incidentally, as we know. In the fishing industry and other parts of the world, people are just pressed in as they were hundreds of years ago to forced labor. So there's an enormous challenge for all of us. America, under the Obama administration and the president's leadership, is setting a moral example here, a standard of applying conscience to governance, which I think really stands out. It's our pleasure here today, and I'm excited to present the first ever presidential award for extraordinary efforts to combat trafficking in persons. And I'd like to welcome Florrie Burke and Tammy Lee Stanek, who joined us today, and ask them if they'd stand and come up and join me at the podium. Florrie Burke has been a pioneer in this movement from its very earliest days, and I talked a moment ago about victim-centered approach, putting the rights and needs of victims first when you deal with this kind of crime. The fact that we do that really is because of Florrie and her leadership. Over the past 15 years, she has been working tirelessly as an advocate in the field to protect victims and help survivors get their lives back on track. And at the same time, she's trained service providers and first responders around the world in order to recognize and respond to this crime. So I could say, without any question, Florrie, you are a hero, true hero. We are grateful for your remarkable leadership, and it's our honor to be able to present you with this first ever presidential award. Would you read the citation, Mr. Ambassador?
For her sustained dedication and unparalleled leadership in combating modern slavery through the development and delivery of comprehensive services, the empowerment of survivors to move from slavery to independence, and the transformation of policy to eradicate all forms of human trafficking. Ms. Florrie Burke.
Well done. Florrie? I'll just explain to her the snaps on that are very hard. Sort of hoping that it stays, you know. Tammy Lee Stanek is the Vice President for Corporate Affairs for the global hospitality and travel company, Carlson. Carlson is an amazing company in Minneapolis, in 150 countries, 2,200 restaurants and hotels, and they have been an amazing leader, and fighting human trafficking is just part of the way that they do business, and it has been for a long time. We're proud of that. Modern slavery is an enormous issue within the tourism industry, and it has been for a long time. If you work for Carlson, though, you have the tools to recognize human trafficking when you see it, and that's because of their proactive leadership in order to make sure that their employees do that. They are pushing their corporate partners to deal with this problem, and they are exactly the kind of private sector leader that we need in order to win this fight. So thank you very, very much. Would you step forward, and it'd be my honor to present you with this recognition, the Presidential Award for Extraordinary Efforts for Combating Trafficking.
Thank you, Secretary Kearing.
So much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tammy and Corey, and we ask you both if you could remain for the rest of the meeting. Invite you to be part of it for certain. And look forward to a very productive conversation today. As I mentioned, we are sort of under the gun. I know everybody's prepared to do that, but I think it provides a kind of energy to it in a way as we proceed through it. I know everybody will be interested in what everybody else is doing.